At yesterday's sectoral meeting, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. condemned in the strongest of terms the crimes of online sexual abuse and exploitation of children, or OSAEC, and child sexual abuse and exploitation materials, or CSAEM, in the Philippines. President Marcos ordered the DILG, PNP, NBI, DOJ, DSWD, and other agencies in the National Coordinating Center to intensify the fight against OSAEC and CSAEC. In 2016, the Philippines emerged as the center of child sex abuse materials production in the world, based on a study done by UNICEF. In 2022, Disrupting Harm study conducted by UNICEF, ECPAT International, and Interpol shows that 20% of internet-using Filipino children, aged 12 to 17, or 2 million children, were victimized by OSAEC. Additionally, 23 to 38% of the children who are victims do not tell anyone about the harm being done to them. OSAEC is an egregious form of violence against children. It is a borderless and hidden crime. It happens mostly in the home and is likely facilitated by trusted guardians and sometimes parents. There are many drivers of this crime, including poverty, easy and unsupervised access to the internet and online payment portals, and prevailing social norms such as no touch, no harm, or it's just a webcam, and English being widely spoken. President Marcos ordered the DILG and PNP to intensify the monitoring of cases locally and abroad and have increased presence in communities. He ordered the DOJ and the PNP to come down on perpetrators with the full weight of the law and directed the DSWD and other agencies to streamline and improve the process of investigation to make sure the children are protected and families are properly reintegrated. He also ordered the further collaboration with private sector and internet service providers on a local and global scale, and an awareness campaign in schools and communities.
The Women and Children Protection Center is the lead agency when it comes to OSAEC, being OSAEC considered as a trafficking in person case. Since 2019, we are trying to our best to do something or prevent OSAEC from happening. But then the law was passed last on OSAEC, which is RA 11930, last 2022, and we have numbers on operations, arrested and rescued victims. The Philippine National Police under the WCPC's work in OSAEC cases in investigation operations to rescue victims and arrest facilitators in the Philippines.
Yes, good morning everyone. Yes, this is indeed a very heavy topic because despite our efforts being considered a best practice around our region, we still see the insurgence of this type of crime, no? And as aptly described earlier, it's an egregious crime, a very heinous crime, and we believe that it is embedded in the culture already. There are certain difficulties that the law enforcement sees, no, when trying to quell this type of crime or to prevent this type of crime, because as also mentioned, it's a hidden crime, and it's hard to spot, especially because it's done within the homes of the families of the victims. And as pointed out, 74% of the cases are perpetrated by those that fall within what is called the circle of trust.
We informed the President of the ongoing initiatives that our government agencies are doing to combat OSAEC and CSAEM. So there is a lot of angles to fight this crime. We are focusing on 4 key result areas in order to combat this. So there's the prevention and advocacy. We have programs for that in order to raise awareness about the gravity of the crime. We also have the prosecution and law enforcement, where we of course have our law enforcement agencies helping out with the investigation of these crimes, and as well as our prosecutors to prosecute this crime. We also have our key result area on protection and reintegration, making sure that children have access to the mandatory services provided for them under the law, such as the emergency shelter, psychosocial services, and for them to be able to be reintegrated back into the society. And of course, we have another key result area, which is partnership and networking, making sure that we are engaging civil society organizations as well as other NGOs in order to help us combat this.